Hey guys, it's QuickyBaby and I'm playing in the VK4502A. You guys may have recently seen my review of this tank, and if not, you should definitely go and check it out. I will start with the caveat that this is probably one of the worst tanks tier for tier in the game, and I've been trying very hard to make it work. The most fun that I've been able to have in this tank is when you basically play it like it's a medium. And also when you play it in a platoon with friends, so you can try and maximize your damage potential. If you know that you've got people who are able to back you up, and it doesn't quite as much matter that you may lack penetration with your main gun, and you may lack armor on the front of your tank, and you also may be a giant tank that's able to easily be penetrated from the side with your huge silhouette. So we're playing on the career map, Sacred Valley. We can see this is a very nice matchup where we're against tier 8s and tier 6s, with not one tier 7 on the enemy team. I'm playing with Ik and Jingles, and oh god. I decide to man mode it here and not repair my track. Maybe that was a mistake because I just lost 500 health. I really thought that maybe I could repair the track quickly with my repair crew and sneak into position. So now, I was trying to rush up the hill to basically try and be a medium tank. You can see there the giant silhouette on the side of the tank. Boom! Looks like a machine gun just went off on the side of my tank. And what you see me doing here is trying to side scrape. Now the turret on this tank is not bad. And when we get an angle on the front of an IS-3 from the side there, it's not too hard to penetrate with our 200mm of penetration. We took another penetrating shot there. As we can see, it went into the top of our tank with the 4 penetration shots there. So I've got to watch out that I don't expose the top of my tank as well and just try and keep my turret. And now you're going to get to see some of the only real way that I've found to use the VK4502's armor. Basically, at long range is angled. Its turret is not bad, and you see me constantly making sure that I'm angling my tank, side-scraping around this rock. Now that I see that the game has calmed down a bit, I'm trying to poke the bushes. I'm trying to spot for my team, basically. I'm the forward scout, and we can see Ik is there behind me, and wow, he's taken a beating as well. This doesn't look like this is going to be a very good game so far. Both me and Ik are crippled, and we're down 2 tanks, including an FCM 50T, who was one of the better players on our team. So I decide that I can make a break for it, and then I go, no, probably not the best idea. I pull back and boom, we hear 3 shots whiz past the tank. That was fortunate that they missed their shots. I decide that it's time to get some shots off, and the aim time on this gun is not too bad. As you can see, it's fairly quick to aim, and we're able to put in devastating shots on the Jagdpanzer. Firing at a tank destroyer that's 2 tiers lower than you, can't really go that wrong. Oh, what a snipe that was there on the ARL to take our damage total up to just over 1,200. So I'm basically spotting here, trying to cover most of my tank behind this rock. This rock is almost perfect for this very tall tank. And yeah, its turret means that we can actually do some work in this. Fortunately, we bounce off the KV-1S's turret ring then that I was trying to hit. We aim again for our second shell. I take a blind shot. We'll wait to see his health when he reappears to see if that one went in or not. And this game is looking fairly close. We're still down a tank, but we seem to be doing okay in the north. We've got a Jagdpanther and Tiger 2 up there, so at least our north isn't crumbling and we're not going to get flanked. And it's really just a standoff at the moment. So I'm still being patient, still using this bush, waiting for the game to develop a little bit more. I really don't feel that I can make a push up there with my 800 health remaining, knowing that I can't really depend on my tank's armor. I'm hoping that the enemies will push down from the hill, or at least allow me to spot them, and then I can give fire support to my team. So it looks like we actually might have hit that KV-1S, as he's been reduced down to 200 health. I was trying to feather the target there, And we see his turret and confirm the kill. Ooh, great. That T-34 is down to 7% health. But oh god, the T-69 just took out Ike. That means that T-69 must have come down from the north. I decide that now's my time to shine. Let's do this. People are falling around me. We're down 2 tanks, down 3 tanks. It's time that we've got to do something. We can't get surrounded. I have to take the fight to the enemy and push out the flank. And Shazam, we just bounced a Ferdinand shot there. That was pretty meaty. He's still there. I decide to try and snipe. There's not an effective shot, and I'm getting fired at as well. So I take a defensive position behind these buildings, wait for myself to re-stealth, and then it's time to progress up the hill. I can't let our team get surrounded. I have to try and keep eyes up on one of the fronts. And what a shot by Jingles there in his T-28 to make the kill. And wow, there's the T-69 that Ike got killed by, and unfortunately we bounced off his turret. Oh dear. At range, a T-69's armor is very troll frontally. And oh dear, we just spotted the bogeyman in the middle of the map. There's an ISU-152. You do not want that BL-10 to hit you. He could very easily one-hit me for my remaining health. Now, considering the amount of enemies that I know are up on the hill, they're playing quite passively. They could really overwhelm us right now, but they're not. So I'm just going to keep backing up Jingles against this ISU and this T-69. They're very busy at the moment, so there's no use in me going up on the hill right yet. So I'm just going to chill in these bushes and basically be a scout. Play this tank like I'm a medium tank. And there we go. I was spotted. I track the KV-1S, but my armor manages to bounce his shell, which is a brilliant result. I've immediately noticed that because he fired at me so quickly again, he's not using the 122mm. What that means is that I can fairly successfully tank him at range, as he lacks the penetration to really devastate my tank. Consequently, I'm going to just try and keep peppering him. Trying to get the angle that I need. The gun depression in this tank is not strong. And wow, we're getting some quite brutal bounces against this KV-1S. So now I know that the ISU-152 is around the other side. And oh my gosh, the T-34 just tried to get us. Trying to get the shot. Oh no, it misses. It must have gone slightly lower than where we were aiming it. And this T-34 looks like he's going to go man mode. But our fantastic rate of fire and troll armor means that we managed to pick up the kill on the T-34. We had a little bit of an artifact bug there with XVM, but it's gone now. And wow, we just decimated that T-34-85 with a fire shot that put him down 70% of his health. So we've got ammo racks there in the Pershing, and wow, it's on now. I'm getting surrounded. We've got 1 tier 8 medium tank and 2 tier 6 medium tanks attacking me at the same time. I'm going to try and confirm the kill on this Pershing, but I'm not going to tunnel vision on him because I know that the Cromwell will be able to hurt me. Unfortunately, that was a really unlucky shot there on the Cromwell. And we've been reduced to 52 health. And this is where the VK4502 can do some good work. I'm trying to keep my armor angled, never give him a flat surface, and the fairly good traverse speed allows me to keep my frontal armor to the Cromwell. I'm looking at where he's aiming and I'm bullying him. And bam, there you go. Good night, Mr. Cromwell. There's our 5th kill. I know that there was a T-34-85 behind us. I'm worried about the ISU-152 picking up some damage. Our optics just got repaired, so maybe we'll be able to spot something now. I'm just going to try and poke down here and try and find the T-34-85. There he is. Shut down. So now the game has completely changed. Jingles unfortunately fell, and oh my word, I just got hit, which means that the KV-1S has to be dead ahead of me. Because if I just bounced the ISU-152, that was some hella luck. Now I know that he doesn't have the 122mm, which means that really I can just brutalize him. There you go, sweetheart. You should have been using the 122mm, unlucky. So now, wow, there was our 7th kill. We've picked up 3,600 damage, and wow, the gods of World of Tanks just lucked me out so much. We just got hit, I think, in the side of the turret, or possibly the top of the tank, by an ISU-152, and it did no damage. Absolutely incredible luck there, guys. And unfortunately for the ISU-152, oh, I fire off a really bad shot there, thinking he was going to go forwards where he didn't. I decide to get into a forward position. Then I decide to pull back. I'm quite worried here. I don't want this ISU to finish off this game, which he is very capable of at the moment. He's going after the Ferdinand, and oh gosh, now it's on. He just executed the Ferdinand. I line up my shot. He's going man mode. And that's it. That's all she wrote for the ISU-152. So it was fairly touch and go stuff there at the end, but we managed to pull through. Let's take a look at some post-game stats. And wow, what a game. We managed to pick up a Radley-Walters medal in one of the weakest tanks tier for tier in the game. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to do this again. Sell it now! Get rid of it. I don't want to ever play it ever again. Amazingly, we managed to pick up a steel wool medal, the Top Gun, obviously, with the Radley-Walters, and we can see that we got a Spartan and a cool-headed medal. Absolute ridiculous result. We did over 4,000 damage. We took a potential of 6,000 damage. And our damage upon spotting was 1,124. I'm quite surprised at that damage upon spotting, but maybe it was Ik who was getting the spots behind me. As we can see, our platoon finished on top, and I'm nearly 100% certain now, looking at those stats, that Ik must have been doing a hell of a lot of spotting. Look how much damage Ik did, only 600, but look how much experience he got. I think the position that he was in, he was doing all the spotting really, and maybe I was just firing and taking some hits as they were firing at me, because I was behind the bushes and my view range wouldn't have been able to go through them. Of the 30 shots we fired, 24 hit and 20 penetrated. We did fire quite a few premium rounds towards the end, but it was so touch and go that I really wanted to secure the game. I would have been able to poke the game and judge a lot better if I'd had 6th Sense, but unfortunately I don't have that on my commander. I think this game really showcased the strengths of this tank. The fact that its armor it's good enough to troll low tier tank. We could see that the Cromwell was unable to go through us, which is always nice when you can successfully take out an enemy tier 6 without really taking any damage from him. The KV-1S, because he was not using the 122mm, also failed to penetrate us reliably. And the all-round troll nature of the tank, it can just bounce shots randomly. You just got that RNG that you get with German armor. The fact that you've got 80mm of armor at your at your side and your rear means that you do have that opportunity to pull off the miracle bounces, which simply you can't do in some of the British and American tanks with their terrible side and rear armor. I think I showcased the strengths of this tank. You have to use its fairly okay speed and fairly good DPM to just overpower the enemy. Don't try and target high tier tanks in this tank because you're going to fail miserably. You do not have the penetration to engage equal tiered and even some lower tiered heavies frontally. You have to get their side and their rear. However, this tank can really start to chew up mediums of equal tier and below because their penetration will find it very hard to get through the front of your armor if you angle it well, and you'll be able to penetrate them with your 200mm. What do I think of this tank? I still think that it's very weak. I think I would have been able to do more in a Tiger 2. However, I think this was a really good situation for this tank. It was able to get forwards into a fairly aggressive location, get support from the rear, use its troll armor, and I got lucky with my armor that game. And I was able to brutalize a bunch of tier 8 ranging down to tier 6 tanks. If I'd been in a tier 10 matchup, for example, I would have just had to be in a support tank and I couldn't have led from the front like I did. But I think this was the optimum situation for the VK4502, and if you guys are going to use it, firstly I recommend that you check out my review of the tank, and secondly try and find some friends who are either playing medium tanks. I think this is quite a good medium tank support. Maybe they're playing in, for example, some Centurions, or maybe they're playing in Panther 2s. If they're playing in Panther 2s, then this tank can sometimes provide the support that they need. The DPM of the tank is one of its highlights. Considering its alpha damage is 320, it has a surprising rate of fire of 6 rounds a minute. This means that this tank has got significantly higher DPM than medium tanks of its tier, which is very unusual for a heavy. So guys, I hope you've enjoyed this gameplay. Good luck to you on the battlefield. Thanks a lot for watching, you've been epic, and hopefully I'll see you soon.